So what motivated me to get this job? Well, I've been listening a little bit. It was like summer job, right? It was a little break from college. I took a break from college, and I still wanted to be a public servant. And unfortunately, I did experience a fire. My grandmother's home, and I had the opportunity or misfortune of being transported to a hospital by EMTs, back then New York City Health and Hospitals, EMTs, and that, got me curious. And I said, you know what, maybe I should look into this. And I looked into it. I became an EMT through Bravo Volunteer Ambulance Corps in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. And from there, I then became a EMT with a private ambulance corps, and then until I got into New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation. So it just continued to, broaden my, my desire to learn more. And I said, yeah, I can do nursing. I can do nursing, but you drive an ambulance and you're going lights and sirens down the street, it gets your heart pumping, right? NYPD, my NYPD sister over here, she knows that you're going to that emergency, your heart's pumping, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna affect change in somebody's life, I'm gonna stop the emergency, right? And for us, as when you first start, it's very thrilling, it's very thrilling. But the other side of that is when you get there and you do help stop the emergency, and you're now sitting there and talking to those individuals that had to call 911 because for them it was their worst day of their life, and you affected some sort of change, or even if you couldn't affect change because the outcomes were negative, you were able, at least for me, I was able to take the time and sit with them and explain to them, we did as much as we can do. I'm sorry. Sometimes we had to say that. I'm sorry for your loss. And I still felt that I was being helpful in some way. We got there, we stopped the emergency. Every day it's a regular job for us, but for the public, it's the worst day of their life. And if we can impact it in some way, that was what pushed me to just also continue with my career in emergency services. Up until 2 years ago, I was actually the division commander of the community that I first started and that I currently still live in.
Wow.
So that to me was, was super rewarding. I could never have imagined that I would have reached that level. Just working in the area that I grew up was rewarding and special to me. But to actually be one of the highest leaders and be responsible for the service that we provided in my own community was extremely rewarding to me.